Hello, my name is Ed Frawley. My wife and I own Leerburg. And I have a good question that came into our website through the Ask Cindy portal. If you're new to this channel, you can go to leerburg.com and scroll down to the Ask Cindy portal. And you can ask a question, any question on training, breeding, healthcare. If we can answer it, we will. We post the most common ones that we think would help people to a database. It's a searchable database, and it has over 3,500 questions. We get a ton of these, way more than 3,500, I'll tell you that. And I try and pick interesting questions that I think are going to help people. So this one concerns a person that has a terrier, and the terrier loves to chew up and destroy toys. Pretty common. First, I'll read it, and then we'll talk about it, and I may make comments as we go through. Hi again. I'm hoping you can direct me to one of your courses to help me out. I've watched your basic and intermediate obedience videos and the relationship games, plus parts of some others. My 15-month-old Russell Terrier is doing very well with all the food exercises. He's very good at leave it and yuck until he gets a hold of a ball or a frisbee or a tug. I would love to eventually have him reliably retrieve, but while he will sprint after anything I throw, his next instinct is to destroy it. Pretty common, really. He wants to chew it to bits or have me chase him like it's a game. He will not release a favorite ball for food. I've tried trading him for food. I can trick him into releasing by showing him an identical toy. Not a good idea, and we're going to talk about it again. Can you think of a video or an article that addresses this? Thanks in advance, and your videos are all terrific. So Cindy's answer, I'll read Cindy's answer, and we can comment on it as I go through and read it. I see that you've purchased The Power of Playing Tug. This has an extensive section on the out. I think you must have missed it. Go back and take a look. I would not throw toys for him, not right now. And I would work on teaching the out. Cindy's right on there. The problem that she has really is teaching the dog to out. So don't try and teach too many things to your dog at one time. At this point in time, this dog needs to learn how to out. And it's covered, like Cindy said, in our online course or videos. It's covered extensively by Michael on how to teach the out on a dog. Do not use a ball right now because it's only going to reinforce his possessiveness. So when you are going to teach a dog an out, you're going to know, like this lady knows, your dog has a hierarchy of toys, and this dog is obsessed with the ball. She wants to play with a tug, but the ball is more important. So don't start training with the ball. Go to a lesser value toy, a tug, and teach the dog to out off the tug. When it's doing it reliably, the way we show in the video, then switch it to the higher value toy of the ball. But as Cindy's going to say here, that once she's good on the out with the tug, then maybe she wants to move on to the course that we did with Michael Ellis on advanced concepts in motivation. And this covers working with the ball, but only with a ball and a string. You don't want to just use just a ball with a dog like this and try and get it to out. We have these balls on strings, or we have these balls on little leather straps that our Amish guys make for this purpose. We have balls on urethane straps. It's up to you. Personally, I like the leather. I just like the feel of it in my hand. Cindy said that, for one thing, if the ball is on a string, you do keep control of it. So then the dog's not going to run off with it. And you're not going to have to play this two-ball game where you trade the dog this ball for another ball. That's not a good idea with a dog like this, because you end up being in the same problem you were in before when you give them the second ball. So you don't do it that way. She said, I have an extremely possessive, this is Cindy now, I have an extremely possessive German Shepherd, and until I worked him through this, and I did not throw toys or his favorite toys, which is a ball, until I had trained him how to out the ball. Keep in mind, when you throw toys for possessive dogs, their reward is that the item they go and get, and that's why they do it, not the interaction with you. So we want to turn this all around. We want the dog to understand that toys are our toys, not their toys. We wouldn't leave a ball with this dog. We wouldn't leave, when we see we have problems with possessiveness in dogs, we don't leave toys with them. When it's time to do training, when it's time to play with them, we go get the toys, and the philosophy we're putting in our dog's head is we get them, or we allow them to play with our toys. And when we're done playing, the toys get put up. Trust me, these dogs have enough interest in these toys that putting them up just, it teaches them, if they want to play, they got to play by the rules. And they're not going to get it afterwards. So they're not going to wear us down and then get the toy and go chew on it in the house. Cindy has a good point here too. She said, you don't want him to be able to rehearse bad behavior with this possessiveness stuff. So that's one of the reasons that you want to keep a hold of that ball on a string. You want to keep a hold of that tug, even if you put the tug on a little rope, that you can go back and forth and play like that with them. And you definitely don't want to trick the dog with the second ball, because that just builds and builds and builds more and more possessiveness. So this person wrote back and said, thank you much. It's so valuable to get a push towards a productive path rather than spending a lot of time trying to create our own path and then making mistakes as we go along. Thank you again. Cindy says, you're most welcome. Have fun with your dog. We love terriers. We have an almost 12-year-old border terrier at our house. And the user came back and said, a miracle per your advice. I watched the tug video that you did with Michael Ellis, and our dog was doing the out in only one day. A one-day solution to a possessive dog. But again, keep in mind, she was doing it, and she wasn't doing it with just a ball she tossed. She had to have that ball on a string. And the dog learned very quick. A smart dog learned, if I'm going to play, I have to mind. And he gets better every single day. He's only held back now by my need for spending more time with the videos. Just wanted to thank you again. Is the border terrier you mentioned above Stella? From our obedience videos, we see Stella. I love watching that dog. I could steal her. Lots of laughs. Cindy says, that's great news. Thanks for letting me know, and keep up the good work. And she said, yeah, that's Stella. She's got a big fan club, especially among people that meet her in person. And I've told my friend who visits occasionally that Stella is the best because she's always makes you feel like you're her favorite person. And Cindy said she's a great smoozer and is just a great little dog, unless you're a critter, and then look out. So I think we answered the question for this lady, and we gave her some ideas on where she can go with the training, and the ideas are working. So we're glad to see feedback from the people that write us like this.